Hey guys, how we going? You're listening to Vol as usual. Played a game today featuring my Yujing force up against my friends Corregidor from Nomads the Sectorial, and we're playing Deadly Dance. Deadly Dance is a mission I've played a few times before, and it's going to be in the tournament coming up this weekend. In New Zealand, I'm hosting a very small 8-person tournament ITS event, which will feature 3 rounds, and I'll hopefully do a bat rep for that next week. But let's just get into this one. Deadly Dance is quite an interesting mission. We'll talk about it throughout the game and hopefully at the end. I also want to try a new feature of my bat reps today. I'm going to be doing a slideshow as well as actually showing you guys a little bit of video footage at the same time interspersed. So to start off with, this is an overview of the table, and I'll just get my face out of the way. So around about here is okay, I think. Okay, so what have we got? This is a bit of a top-down view of the table. I've tried to go for some really large line-of-sight blockers through the middle, but there are still some pretty big fire lanes, and the deployment zones are actually quite sparse for this one. The little blue consoles here are the objectives. They aren't, they aren't perfectly measured out and spaced, but interesting thing about Deadly Dance is that if you actually leave a specialist in face-to-face with a console, you have to first win the face-to-face roll, and then the opponent's zone moves clockwise. You can't change your own zone, so it's very, very limited in what you can do about changing the zones. Talking to my friends, we all sort of think that that could be tweaked a little bit. It'd be a bit better if the zones are a bit more consistent, and if the consoles gave you a bit better control over the changing of the zones. Alright, so before I go into the first series of slideshows, I am just going to sit back and play this video while I'm recording it with OBS. So let's just have a look.
Alright, okay, so this is the start of the game. Just talk me through what you got here, buddy. So that's obviously the HVT over there.
Yep.
We're playing Deadly Dance, of course.
The Corregidor side.
Camo token here.
Yep.
We've got McMurrow here.
Cool.
We've got a prone Jaguar
needs some
with
painting.
chain rifle and smoke grenades and stuff here.
Nice. Yep.
Here we have the Alguacil Link team.
Who's who? So what's this guy got here?
So this is one with a sniper rifle.
Sniper rifle, yep.
We're treating that lamppost as counter cover as well.
Paramedic,
Okay.
regular Alguacil.
And that's Lupe Balboa at the back. Is
Lupe
that right?
Balboa at the back. She's also the left
Lupe
leader.
needs some line of sight markings.
So I see a camo marker there.
Camo marker. A Salute Zone, which
That's
is
the
just the baggage
one.
spot.
Notice we've got a Moran. What type of Moran profile is it? We've got the one
So
crazy
that's the
koala.
Moran with the
other one on the other side.
boarding shotgun.
Boarding shotgun?
Not a specialist.
Okay.
Here we have a War Core.
He's pointing out the war core. Later in the game we decided to actually replace the real model for his proxy, since I had one in my package.
That's alright, and this is just a forward observing one?
That's the Fort Observer Moran.
Yeah.
There's another Jaguar.
Definitely prefer the Fort Observing Moran, to be
Here
honest.
we have an interventor,
boarding
which
shotgun.
is filling in as a Wildcat
Because
hacker.
this is Corregidor sectorial.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I'm just going to tell the camera what's on board here. So we've got Guangxi Group 1 as well
I
as
classified as sabotage, by the
Kaisotsu
way. I'm going
Observer
for
Group
a
2.
building central.
Samurai HMG with Shaolin, who's in Group 2. Guangxi. Then we've got a regular camo
That's
marker
Guilin.
clone over here. Normal Guangxi over here. We've got the Doctor who's attached to this helper bot over this side, Yao Zhao. And the Yan Huo. This is not this neurosynetics version, it's just the normal double missile launchers.
We'll do a video
And we've
about
got
that later,
the,
about
Special
why I
Guard
take
Control
the
Device,
normal
of
missiles.
course, another Kaisotsu Fort Observer Group 2. Flash Pulse Bot, Shaolin Monk Group 2, another Kaisotsu. We've got a regular
This is the
normal
lieutenant, very obviously.
rifle Zanshi, and of course our HVT. So what I get you to do, buddy, is we're going to roll a dice for Deadly Dance. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, because we're both standing on this side of the table, that zone over there, centered around that marker, is going to be 1 to 5, and I'll roll mine. And then 6 to 10, and we'll go around clockwise, right? So this is like the third one, this is the fourth one. So I'll roll my dice. So here's the one I'm going for. I've lost, it's a 2. Okay, so conveniently, I'm actually going to try and dominate that zone over there.
Quite a lot of luck involved in these
now you roll,
determining
and
of
we'll see which
zones
zone you're going to be going
I
for.
find in this mission.
That is a 9.
So he's got
So
a lot
you're
unlucky.
actually going for the one on my side.
Both of the zones are closest to me.
But you can move my zone at the end. So let's get to it.
Alright, so now that that's played, I'm just going to go back to the slideshow, and hopefully this does work for our bat rep, and let me know in the comments if you like, a little bit of both. I get some people saying to me, oh, I prefer the videos because I can see more of what's going on, and I can see the flow of the play and the dice rolls. And then other people say to me, oh, I prefer the slideshows because it allows you to talk more meaningfully about the tactics and the reasoning behind what's happening without having to sort of be pressured for the pace. So McMurray comes over here, he throws his grenade next to the objective. This is so that the intruder can come out and use the smoke. So he's also got a camo marker moving forward, which we find is the intruder coming up from the back line, trying to get into position to actually attack the Yanhuo. And then here he is. So this is the intruder with the HMG. Now, plugs the shots into the Yanhuo. With armor 8, I thought I might be able to survive some of that, but I took 2 wounds straight away. My hope was that he'd waste all that effort doing 1 wound on me and then I drop down. Still, there is a helper bot there, conveniently placed to revive the Yanhuo later. So here he is, Yanhuo's unconscious. Now McMurray is moving up, and my concern here is that if he's clever, he'll actually use McMurray to destroy the Yanhuo to prevent me from actually reviving. So first of all, McMurray coming around here, and interestingly just getting engaged with these guys. Note that I've put the Guangxi prone first, so that the helper bot can see over it, and of course the Shaolin is even higher than the helper bot, sorry, the flash pulse bot. So when he moves around here, the order is to chain rifle with the first guy, flash pulse with the second guy, and dodge with the monk, so that I can continue attacking even if I lose the first 2. So that results in me inflicting a wound on McMurray, I believe. The Shaolin monk successfully dodges out of the way, and the Guangxi's dogged, the flash pulse bot is down. Next up, McMurray, as you can see in the top right, I'll move my cam. So McMurray has now jumped up on top of the building with super jump. Now this allows me to reveal my Guilong here to fire a combi rifle shot across the way to actually try and take him down. I've got a Celestial Guard dodging, Kaisotsu dodging, and of course the guys on ground level get to attack him as he was jumping up there and shoot him as well. So what this results in is we finally do take McMurray down, but unfortunately he does pick off this Kaisotsu and the helper bot. He doesn't destroy the Yanhuo, unfortunately for him, but he may as well have destroyed the Yanhuo, because I've lost the helper bot. I can't go and revive him now, and the Celestial Guard does survive. So a fair bit of carnage there, but I'm feeling like, given the number of orders he spent, I'm not really crippled. I mean, he's done damage, but I still have plenty of tools to continue the game with. Then we've got a bandit moving through here, and this bandit is actually a killer hacker, and he's got the data scan classified. So what he does is he data scans the HVT successfully and picks up a point straight away on the classified. So as you can see, we've replaced the Warcore model, actually showing a real Warcore now. We're just moving forward a little bit. He's got his robots and his hacker behind this little wall here. And his Moran with the boarding shotgun just creeping further forward. He's prone, just staying down on the ground, getting into a better position to hopefully try and contest the zone he's supposed to. But I'm going second for this game. He won choice of what to do, and he lieutenant role, and he just chose the table side he wanted, deployed second, and I chose second turn. So it'll make it a bit easier for me to complete the scenarios. Now, you can see where he sort of ended up. There's the intruder here, he's hanging up behind total cover. We've got a sniper standing up from the link team, Jaguar here, and the bandit has gone back into camouflage mode. So my turn, moving out with the Guangxi. Luckily there's enough line of sight blocking through the middle of the table that I'm not running straight into his sniper nest, so that's great. And then the monk moving out here to put a smoke grenade down just to block me off against the Warcore, so luckily managing to succeed with that. The Sien Warrior should easily be able to blow up the Warcore as well as it moves across. So what I've done is I've actually restrained this Guangxi from moving out with Impetuous, and now with the monk putting down a cloud here, this cloud will also block off the sniper shooting at me from his side of the table, and his intruder went back behind total cover, so I won't have to worry about that at this point. So now, with the remaining orders, moving out with the Sien Warrior. So the Sien Warrior, first of all, attacks the Warcore, who's not pictured. He's further off to the left over here, destroys him. Then he comes up the staircase, and the idea here is to try and get at his sniper and hopefully take that sniper down. So moving through here, just getting into a position where he can actually shoot, I believe it's the Warcore initially and then something else later on, and then moving over to this side, where you can see the sniper is around here where I'm pointing my mouse. So I'm just moving carefully past, nailing him, and then pulling back behind cover. And the point of this is to position the Sien Warrior a bit better. He has not left any troops in the quadrant he's trying to control, whereas the quadrant I'm kind of control is surrounding this little marker here on my right-hand side of the table. So at the end of this turn, the Sien should be able to pull that off. I've also got the Doctor repositioning to come over here with a couple of orders in Group 2, just to hang out on the stairs. There's a whole lot of bodies around her, but in the next turn she might be able to move out and actually revive the Yanhuo. And also got the Shaolin Monk hanging out behind here just to protect my flank with his chain rifle, and if he does survive, in the next turn he'll be able to go around there and actually attack the bandit hacker. Also good defense against bandit hacker here, because this guy is great with his chain rifle and obviously can use smoke. Okay, so before I start off on game round 2, why don't we just watch another video, because I've got another one right here.
Alright, so we're just going to take a little look at the end of game round 1. So obviously McMurray, obviously here, he's been taken down, but he's taken a few things with him. So the intruder managed to get rid of this guy, the doctor's managed to wind her way all up here, and the Xian warrior has ended up in the second zone, has taken out the HMG from the Link team, and this zone is now controlled by Yujing, so that's 1 point at the end of this game round, and Nomad's going for this zone, but nobody in there at the moment, but still a lot to happen, and I think possibly Nomad's ahead in points, I'm not sure, but we'll go into game round 2.
Alright, so let's get back to the slideshow. So what he decides to do with his second turn is to move out with the central Moran with the boarding shotgun. So he climbs down the wall, and then he's just moving across here, trying to get into position to actually climb onto one of the buildings that I'm occupying at the moment. So as you can see, he's climbed all the way up onto my side. I have a Guilang here, and the Xian warrior is prone, so they can't be attacked by the intruder. So what happens here is the Moran creeps around to the just behind this little, because he's prone here, he creeps around behind this little obstacle and attacks the Guilang, and with his boarding shotgun makes quick work of him. Now, elsewhere, this is my deployment zone, just right in front of it. He shows up with a Tomcat, and this is a Tomcat with Combi and Light Flamer. He does show up within Chain's Face range zone of control of this monk, but I failed the Change Face, so that's going to make it harder for me to actually counter him with my chain rifle, unfortunately. But there is a single Guangxi who can actually shoot at very long range with a pistol, just barely within 24 inches, and there was no way he could actually deploy the airborne deployment trooper out of line of sight, because if he went too far to this side, to the right, he goes into my deployment zone, whereas if he goes too far to the left, there's a box there, and he just can't deploy in front of that because the monk will shoot him. So the Guangxi fires off a random pistol, and he decides just to take it because it's only a pistol at very long range. But the Guangxi rolls a 5 to hit, and that is a crit. So, hey, dead Tomcat. Sort of got lucky there. Very lucky indeed. I think that I might have been able to survive that onslaught, but I'm much happier that I didn't have to, so a bit of good luck there. So now he moves out with his Link team. He's lost one member, but he's still got Lupe and friends. So they're moving forward now, and his plan is to actually get her into range of the console so that he can potentially move my objective, making it harder for me to complete. Because at the moment I'm occupying it quite handily with the Xian warrior. Here's a look at his flank. So he's got Lupe Balboa next to the objective. The intruder's still behind hard cover here. He's still got members of the Link team backing him up. The Jaguar is defending the flank. The bandit killer hacker is still around the side. What he does with the bandit killer hacker, though, is he goes prone, crawls up the stairs, and this actually firmly puts him into my zone now. So if he does manage to deal with the Xian warrior, or if the Xian warrior relocates, I am going to have to do something about this camo marker, or just simply put more troops in it than he has, because this guy's going to be quite hard to remove given that he's prone and on the staircase as well. Just a bit of a different look here. So the intruder moving out, just planning on setting up suppression fire here, because he's quite powerful with his camo and suppression in the middle of the table, and he's moved fairly far forward. This is about 18 inches into the table. So there is that. And next up, okay, so this is my follow-up turn. This is game round 2, Yujing turn 2, and the impetuous move from the Guangxi moves up the stairs and triggers the crazy koala, which the Moran brought with him. He put the other one on standby mode to protect the intruder, but the other ones come with him, and the Guangxi moves up and successfully dodges. So roughly 60% chance of that, I believe. And then the Guangxi just keeps on moving. So up the stairs, elsewhere on the table we've got another Guangxi trying to blow this thing up, but unfortunately doesn't dodge it, so I actually do lose the Guangxi there. More impetuous moves to get out of the way. So moving forward with this guy, throws down his smoke grenade. Lupe fires a Panzerfaust at him. You can see Lupe very barely behind this blue advertisement there, but luckily the monk rolls an 11 and beats Lupe's Panzerfaust. She decides to only use one barrel, even though I think you may as well just use 2 barrels there just to get some work done if you're going to try and win the face-to-face roll, I guess. So on my right hand side, I've also got this monk coming around here as planned. His bandit was in the staircase but decides not to respond. So now the monk can actually come through and fire his chain rifle to hit both the Jaguar and Lupe. Luckily for Lupe, she's still got 6th Sense level 2 from the Link team, so it makes it easier for her to dodge out of this. But what happens here is that the Jaguar shoots me, I pass the armor save, I shoot the chain rifle, taking out the Jaguar, but Lupe dodges. That allows me to continue moving. Jaguar's dogged now, so he's going to lose him at the end of the turn, but he can still use the Jaguar to fend this off. Moving into close combat at this point. The reason why I'm moving to close combat is that if I only go unconscious, it ties up the Jaguar in close combat. And what I'm about to do is bring on a Tiger Soldier from the flank and kill everyone. But it's harder to do that if the chain rifle is there. So that's why I'm trying to move the monk into close combat, hoping that he just uses his chain rifle so that even if I do go unconscious, that's going to prevent the Jaguar from responding to any further troopers. But what happens here is the monk does get shot. The Jaguar is removed by a chain rifle at this point, and the interventor, I keep calling it interventor, the intruder and Lupe both successfully dodge again. So now here comes the Tiger Soldier. He's got a Spitfire. He's ready to kill everyone. He's going to go in and take out Lupe and the Intruder and part of the Link team. What happens though is that he sets up his first face-to-face attack against one of the Alguacils in the 4-man Link. Alguacil's shooting at long range and mimetism, -6 to hit, whereas the Tiger Soldier's just on natural dice, so 13s on 4 dice versus 5s on 2 dice, but he rolls 2 crits. Unbelievable. So I think that I deserve this, given that I got a lucky Guangxi hit on his airborne deployment trooper. But this is just a game of airborne troopers doing very little, even though they were both poised to do a lot. So yeah, I was really looking forward to basically winning the game there and then with the Tiger Soldier with a good turn. But I'm going to have to try something else now. So Doctor actually bringing the Yanhuo back to life, thankfully, but she doesn't have enough orders in Group 2 because Group 2 has been really decimated by McMurrough. And I can't actually stand her down. I can only stand the Yanhuo up. In fact, it might have even been better for me to just save him, and after the game I do regret actually the timing of this. I should have actually held on to the Yanhuo, allowed him to generate an order, and simply stand up in my turn and actually shoot at some targets later on. So now, the Xian Warrior moving forward, unfortunately we're realizing that the Moran still is there and has a repeater, so he attempts to hit me with an Oblivion with an Assault Hacker. Luckily I don't die to the Oblivion, but the Xian Warrior now shooting and actually taking out, I think, one of his troopers back here. He does manage to get something done, I just can't remember what it was. So realizing that there's a repeater there and I'm going to be up against that for the rest of the turn, the Guangxi moves up, gets into close combat with a Moran. I attacked it a couple of times with the chain rifle and the close combat knife, but he managed to pass his armor save and ended up being not very much done. So the Moran's still there. So then we've got, I think this is the 3rd turn for Corregidor, but let's just take a look at this next video.
Lupe.
Hang on a sec. So, end of game round 2. So, we've got Lupe Balboa. She's actually in base-to-base with the objective. We tried to kill her with a Tiger Soldier, but that didn't really work. And none of my guys actually have any of these objectives. This smoke is going to go away now, end of game round 2. So, Lupe is going to try and actually punch the buttons to move my objective.
And she needs a 13.
Right.
And
5. Success.
Okay, so just by the way, we've also got the Yanhuo standing up, and there's a camo marker over in this zone. So at the moment, you were going for this zone.
Ninja revealed I didn't have
I actually have more stuff because of that model.
Didn't have a picture.
That model's worth 29, by the way. And these things always fall off. I actually still have my zone because of the Xian Warrior.
So one thing we talked about after I made that little video clip is that the way the scenario works is that if you have a specialist in base-to-base with a console at the end of the game round and you pass your whip check, the opponent's zone moves, but not until the next game round. So at the end of that game round number 2, we still count up the points. So at the start of the game, first game round I scored 1, he didn't score 1, so I'm on 1. Second game round I scored a second 1. He's also got a classified, so the score is 2-1 in my favor at the moment. At the time, we didn't realize that was the case. We didn't have the rules on hand, so we thought that he would actually just prevent me from scoring straight away, but we found out what happened a bit later. So I find that quite interesting. So, third turn, Lupe is throwing a smoke grenade next to the intruder so that he can actually repeat his trick of attacking the Yanhuo yet again. She fails on her first attempt, even on 2 dice ending 15s, sorry, 14s I think it was, but her second attempt does manage to nail it, so does take out the Yanhuo yet again, which was annoying, but that's life. Then he's moving his transconductor flash pulse robot, donated by me, the special model, through to this side so that he can actually put his Moran and the robot into the zone that he's trying to get, because that will be more points than the ninja. Thing is, though, the ninja probably will have something to say about that. So over here you can see what's going on. My ninja, which appeared last turn, didn't take a picture of it at the time, but the video showed that. The Moran with the boarding shotgun moving around here, I've decided not to respond, so he just keeps on moving around. So just moving the koala straight into my face, so if I activate, he's going to get his koala to attack me. Picture of his lovely hand here, and then that's where he sort of ended up. The Moran's just on the other side of the box, the koala's in the way of the ninja. So when he moves out to attack the Shaolin does manage to throw a smoke grenade in the way. I think that the smoke grenade didn't actually end up getting placed because I rolled a 10 and he rolled a 10 and all the other dice were lower, so it was just a negated roll. Then, furthermore, we have his Link team, I think, getting up and trying to move around, just to try and get better positioning. So they're standing up in general, just to make it harder for me to move out, so that they'll provide arrows when it's his turn. So he didn't really achieve much that turn. So when it's my turn, the Guangxi moving out, using its pistols on the Moran, similar sort of thing with the Shaolin monk. And we'll get to a point here where the Shaolin can actually successfully either dodge or just take the koala to the face and use his chain rifle or pistols against the Moran, which ended up killing him. Elsewhere, impetuous in close combat, the Guangxi finally, third game round, uses his knife, beats the Moran in the UFC cage match and knifes him to death. So now it's a matter of the Xian warrior standing up and trying to get some more kills. I realized that because he's moved the zone, there's no way I could get enough points into his zone because I didn't have enough orders to do that. But the Shaolin moves over, tries to take out this bot here. I've got more than enough points in this zone to stop him from collecting his points because the Shaolin plus the ninja is worth more than an 8-point bot now that the Moran's dead. Ninja moving across in an effort, because I thought at this point it was really close, so I felt like I needed to secure more points at the stage. So the Ninja tries to use its Trinity through the repeater of the transconductor to hit his Tomcat assault hacker. Now the Trinity didn't actually work. He used a Carbonite and beat me. Luckily for me though, I don't lose the points for the Ninja because he doesn't have Brain Blast or anything like that. So I would have netted more points if I'd actually managed to take out that guy there as well. And that's all the pictures I've got. We've got one more clip.
Just filming a little video to finish up. So where we ended with, the Xian warrior managed to take out the bandit and Lupe to net some points. The team of the Shaolin and the Ninja managed to kill the Moran. So this zone, which the Nomads needed, was not captured. I needed to capture this zone. It got shifted from this one over here, and I couldn't get it. So it basically came down to Nomads scoring, what was it? You managed to get HVT Espionage, so you managed to get that. I got 1 point at the start of the game, so 1-1, and then it came down to whoever had the most stuff left over. So when I did my calculations, I calculated a Xian warrior, there was a Celestial Guard, a couple of Guangxi, the Zanchi Lieutenant was alive, the Ninja, a Kaisotsu, and 1 Shaolin. So I ended up with about 139 if I've done the maths right, and that was about 10 points, 20 points more than the Nomads, so it was a very, very narrow win to Yujing. And that's how it all ended up.
Alright, so that's basically the end of the report. We found out after the game, by reading the rules more carefully, that the zone always moves clockwise, so we wouldn't have randomized it. The zone wouldn't have gone round to his side of the table. He would have shifted my zone to the other side of my deployment zone, and the Ninja would have actually managed to take that one as well. So yeah, I find the randomness of the scenario can be a bit unfair, but one thing I really do like about the scenario is the fact that you can win it just by killing more stuff than your opponent, and just trying to make the scenario hard to achieve. It also encourages tags a lot. So hopefully you guys play the scenario, give me some feedback on it, let me know what you think of having the slideshow and the videos. And as usual, whatever you want to say is taken on board. I'm going to do a video batrep this weekend at the tournament because I'm running it and not playing it. So check in next week for some more Infinity.